Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Estadio Nacional here in San Jose, Costa Rica for the second leg of this quarterfinal in the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. It is Santos and Chorrillo to fight for a spot in the first ever Scotiabank Concacaf League semi-final. Glad to have you with us tonight, Tyler Terrence, and here are the pitch conditions for this evening's match. 70 degrees, a slight chance of rain, and a slight breeze coming in as well for what should be a terrific match. Santos right now hold the advantage up 1-0 on aggregate, and a number of Santos fans have made the trip here to San Jose to witness what could be a historic night for Johnny Chavez's club, but it is certainly going to be a difficult task. Chorrillo gave them everything that they can handle and then some back in Panama City, but now we come back here to San Jose, Costa Rica, where Santos have an opportunity at home to lock up a spot in the semifinals of the Scotiabank Concacaf League. And we'll take a look right now at how we got there. And it was Osvaldo Rodriguez in the 41st minute of the first leg a week ago today that got Santos on the board in terms of the aggregate and on the board in terms of the first leg, but that would be the only goal in the game back in Panama City at Estadio Ramel Fernandez, as the Santos back line was brilliant. They didn't see much of the ball. Chorrillo dominated possession, but I have a feeling it could be a very different story here on Costa Rican soil, as Santos are certainly going to be feeling themselves with the home crowd behind them, but it is only a matter of time before kickoff commences. And this match commences, and we will come away with one of four semifinalists in this inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. Again, Tyler Terrence just moments away from kickoff here at Estadio Nacional. Obviously not the home stadium to Santos, a couple of hours away, but a number of fans have made the trip out, and they are hoping to see some fireworks as well as a good result from this Santos team. And on the other side for Chorrillo, they understand that it's obviously going to be a difficult task, but not necessarily impossible, as a number of players, as well as the coach, Richard Parra, expressed to the media throughout the week leading up to the match. And they are going to have one trick up their sleeve, and that is in the form of Rolando Blackburn, El Toro, as it were, Panamanian national player. We'll take a look at the starting lineups in just a few moments, so bear with us, folks. But Blackburn being announced to the roster just a few hours before the first leg last week, and they didn't want to announce it too close to the game to not distract away from the significance of the first leg of this quarterfinal. But now he is available to play. He's in the starting 11, and he's also the captain for Richard Parra's side, a player who spent some time in Morocco over the past year. He spent some time with Deportivo Saprissa, which is obviously no stranger to this Santos team, playing in the Costa Rican Domestic League with Saprissa, who also have their berth into the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League by way of winning the Costa Rican Domestic League. So Rolando Blackburn is somebody that Johnny Chavez and the boys of Santos have seen a number of times, and Chorrillo, along with Richard Parra, feel that he can make a significant impact. He played with Chorrillo from 2011 to 2014. Had a number of appearances as well as bags of goals, and we'll see if he'll be able to produce perhaps a heroic moment for this Chorrillo side, as they will certainly need a goal at least to level things on aggregate. They need to win the game outright. As far as the second leg is concerned, given the fact that they surrendered an away goal in the first leg, as the players are almost ready to come out here. The fans are starting to file in here at Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica. Terrific atmosphere here as the players are making their way out onto the pitch. The procession's about to conclude here in San Jose, Costa Rica at Estadio Nacional. Santos, who are wearing the red uniforms tonight. And there you just saw Rolando Blackburn exchanging pleasantries with a number of Costa Rican players who he's played against in the couple of years that he spent with Deportiva Saprissa. And right now we will take a look at Johnny Chavez's starting 11 in the second leg of the Scotiabank Concacaf League quarterfinals. Alejandro Gomez getting the start in goal. Brian Morales will be on the bench tonight. Marco Barquero, Kenny Cunningham, very difficult to deal with in the attacking third. Eder Monguillo, the captain, very dangerous off set pieces. Raymond Salas, Juan Madrigal, another piece in the back for Johnny Chavez's team. Marvin Obenda, Wilmer Azofeifa, as well as Starling Matarrita and Jose Garro, and of course Osvaldo Rodriguez, and tonight's official Yadel Martinez from Cuba, as well as his outstanding crew, will be in charge of all the important decision makings. And there you see the two captains, Eder Monguillo and Rolando Blackburn, aka El Toro, as he is making the call on the coin flip. Yadel Martinez approves, as we are just moments away from kickoff in what should be an electric atmosphere here at Estadio Nacional. You can hear the fans, they're certainly ready. But before we go any further, a look now at Richard Parra's side. Miguel Vargas in goal, Guillermo Sierra and Elkin Mosquera. They are the mainstays at the back. Luis Rojas very good at the outside fullback position. Manuel Vargas, Oscar Villarreal, David Loaiza, Alfredo Stevens, Carlos Gutierrez, Cesar Blackman, and the captain making his return to Chorrillo, Rolando El Toro Blackburn, as we are just moments, nay seconds away from kickoff now. And here are the subs. Brian Morales on the bench, Pablo Arboine, Cristian Lagos, Houston Salas scored a goal in the first leg against San Juan Jablota. Kenneth Dixon, very dangerous off the bench as well. And a number of subs for Chorrillo who are capable of making an impact here in the second leg of the Concacaf League quarterfinals. There's a look at Johnny Chavez and his staff, feeling very confident entering tonight's match. They're coming off of a 4-2 defeat, or rather a win over Municipal Liberia. Matarrita, Houston Salas, Arboine, and Raymond Salas, the goal scorers in that competition. Have a look at Yadel Martinez, our referee, in charge of tonight's match. And at the end of these 90 minutes, we will have one of the 4 semifinalists punch their ticket into this Scotiabank Concacaf League Final Four. Yadel Martinez says we're ready and we'll play some football. Underway from Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica. Tyler Terrence here, glad to have you with us on this beautiful Tuesday evening in Costa Rica. Santos starting off with possession, but immediately surrender it to this Chorrillo side, who advanced to the quarterfinals by way of 2 1-0 defeats of the Honduran side Progreso. Santos, of course, taking down San Juan Jablota in convincing fashion, as they were able to down the Trinidad and Tobago side 8-3 on aggregate. Starling Matarrita trying to get on the right side. Guillermo Sierra early on, part of this almost all Colombian back line, including the goalkeeper, Miguel Vargas, who's Colombian, in addition to Elkin Mosquera. And there's a bad giveaway. It's right into Osvaldo Rodriguez, who goes for goal, and it's just wide. An early opportunity for Santos. And there's our first look at Osvaldo Rodriguez, who was the hero in the first leg back in Panama City, had the only goal in the 41st minute. Already getting his first touch and his first shot, not even inside the first minute. There is Miguel Vargas, goalkeeper for Chorrillo, 28 years old, from Colombia, first season in Panama. He's actually born in Armenia and has had a very solid start with the Panamanian side. Garro challenging in the middle of the park. Chorrillo able to come away with it. Luis Rojas asking for some help. He was looking up the sideline for Oscar Villarreal, who was very busy in the first leg, looked extremely dangerous in the first half. We didn't hear much from him in the second, as Chorrillo were on their heels a little bit in the second 45 minutes of that first leg. Absolutely dominated the first, but Osvaldo Rodriguez was able to find the goal via deflection in the 41st. and that would be the only score of the game. As there's a heavy touch in the middle of the park, Chorrillo able to maintain possession. But the fans here at Estadio Nacional loving the defensive energy from Santos early on, as they're able to win the ball back. A poor touch there from Rodriguez. And cleared away by Juan Madrigal. Through the legs of Kenny Cunningham goes David Loaiza. Here is Cunningham. Scored the first goal in the first leg against San Juan Jablote from the penalty spot inside of the first 10 minutes of that match. And Matarrita taken down from behind, and that's an early nasty challenge from Chorrillo. And Yadel Martinez establishing his authority early on. Luis Rojas clearly not impressed, as he ran up the backside of Starling Matarrita, who has been in terrific form for Santos. Had a goal in their 4-2 win over Municipal Liberia. And now Chorrillo with an early defensive task as Santos line up for this free kick. Miguel Vargas getting things organized for this Chorrillo back line. Flipped in, it's a good ball towards the back post, not a back across. And a big defensive play there from Elkin Mosquera, but the play was blown offside beforehand, as the assistant referee on the near side had his flag up, so no opportunity there for Santos. A good ball in, we'll take another look at it. And you can see there, as it looked like it was Kenny Cunningham who was just a hair offside. A little overzealous trying to get on the end of that free kick, which was very craftfully sent in. This one nodded along. Rolando Blackburn still looking for his first touch. Panamanian international returning to Chorrillo for the first time since 2014. Squeezing his way through with Salas. He did well just to get the ball to this point. But Chorrillo had to come away with it in the form of Oscar Villarreal. They're looking to operate quickly the other way. Chorrillo looking for a foul on the player who's making a darting run. But no call from Yadel Martinez, and Santos will play on. Matarrita. Little love tap in the back there from Manuel Vargas, 26-year-old in his first season with Chorrillo. Thumping it the other way as Carlos Gutierrez didn't start or see any minutes in the first leg, but getting a nod for the starting 11 tonight. Good work on the outside, but unable to keep it in play was Cesar Blackman, who had an assist in the round of 16 against the Honduran side Progreso. And getting his first touch of the night now is Alejandro Gomez getting the start tonight. Brian Morales is their normal steady Eddie goalkeeper in the back. But Johnny Chavez allowing Alejandro Gomez an opportunity here to try to close this one out and head on towards the semifinals of this inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. The header is through. Kenny Cunningham is onside. Cunningham into the area. Still Cunningham lays it back for Matarrita, but coming back beautifully was Luis Rojas. Another very early opportunity for Santos, who have hit Chorrillo on the counter a number of times, taking advantage of sloppy mistakes in the back, as Chorrillo have given the ball away in their own defensive third at least twice now. Lucky that it's still 0-0. Again, Santos with the 1-0 advantage on aggregate, and they do have the away goal. Early delivery knotted away by Guillermo Sierra, but he does surrender a corner, the first of the evening. And the fans here at Estadio Nacional very much appreciative of the quick start from their home team. It was actually Ramon Salas who got into the area. And you can see the fans recognizing the gravity of that situation. It was a very good chance to possibly get on the board, as that one flicked along by Jose Garro. But over the crossbar, and it will be a goal kick for Gomez. Very good start early on for Santos. Trying to ride the energy of the home crowd. See there, Luis Rojas getting tangled up. Looked like with Eder Monguillo. And there is the man in charge of Chorrillo, Richard Parra. cautious yet confident in his words to the press leading up to this match. And there's a foul against Santos, and going down in a heap was Oscar Villarreal, obviously in some pain here. Yadel Martinez is going to go check on him. Take another look as looked like it was Marvin Obando who just upended him a little bit. Villarreal now getting medical attention from the Chorrillo staff. Villarreal, the 22-year-old from Panama in his 6th season with Chorrillo. And with Richard Parra, as his team try to complete what would be an epic comeback, down 1-0 aggregate. Staring an away goal in the face as Villarreal gets some water and a little bit of medical treatment. Appears to be okay though, as Chorrillo line up for the goal kick. Alejandro Gomez locked in for this defensive challenge as Santos clear it away. Chorrillo looking to make good on it as that header ends up falling nicely into the hands of Gomez, who's looking to operate quickly the other way with distribution. Matarrito will be able to get on the end of it, but how about that defensive header from Elkin Mosquera, and then taken down as Blackman. So you take another look here at the ball sent back in after Santos cleared the initial free kick. Just trying to help it along was Guillermo Sierra. And then this was the foul on the other end, committed by Michael Boquero. Chorrillo in possession here. Mosquera. Blackman sending it forward. Blackburn. The ball sent in. Villarreal! Oh, there's the goal for Chorrillo, but it's blown offside. What a goal it would have been. Oscar Villarreal thought he had it, but it's blown offside. We'll take another look at it. And that is definitely the right call from the assistant referee. Hats off to him. He was right on the scene there. But it just goes to show how quick Chorrillo can hit you on the counter. It didn't take much. It was just one cushioned header from Rolando Blackburn that almost led to the opening goal and what would have certainly changed the narrative here in San Jose. Rojas somehow playing the ball on the ground. Kenny Cunningham absolutely irate with the assistant referee, asking for a foul, but not going to get one. And Cunningham continues to plead his case now to the head referee, Yadel Martinez. But we'll play on. Rodriguez trying to slip it through, but that opportunity goes by the wayside, and now a goal kick for Miguel Vargas. Again, Rodriguez with the lone goal in the first leg of this Scotiabank Concacaf League quarterfinal. A pensive Johnny Chavez. Certainly an interesting way to go about this game. Santos have been a little bit more on the aggressive and on the offensive early. They are up a goal on aggregate and have the away goal. And it's no wonder what that man is going to try to do, Richard Parra. His team has to go for it. Have to get at least 2 goals. And keep a clean sheet as well if they're only going to use the 2. This is Cesar Blackman, who had an assist on one of the goals in the round of 16 in this Scotiabank Concacaf League, as Chorrillo looking for Blackburn on the other end. Loaiza bringing it down and sending it out wide. Clipped in. Gomez goes up for it, and it is going to be a foul against Chorrillo. Alejandro Gomez came off of his line well. It was Cesar Blackman who chipped it in. It was a good ball, just teasing Alejandro Gomez to come off of his line a little bit. Still 0-0, 1-0 on aggregate between Santos and Chorrillo. Strong defensive header there from Loaiza. Bringing it down and doing well was Alfredo Stevens. He is one of their main targets up top. 3 goals already this season, Stevens. Being tripped up there by Kenny Cunningham. Very feisty defender as well as a clever and intuitive attacker. Sierra on top of the free kick. Chorrillo maybe feeling they can muster up something from about 55 yards away. Good defensive header there from Jose Garro. Raymond Salas on top of it. And it's sent the other way by Michael Barquero. And Chorrillo just having to get rid of it. Crowd was very active early on here at Estadio Nacional. Santos got off to a blazing start. It looked like they might get an early breakthrough, but things have settled down, and it was actually Chorrillo who recently just had a goal called offside. And playing with a little bit more confidence is the team from Panama. As Ofeifa trying to find the feet of Matarrita. Cut out by Mosquera, but he gives it right away. Monguillo. Blackburn. Villarreal pushing it along, and there's a good defensive sliding tackle. And it was Eder Monguillo, the captain. 3 goals already this season for the center back position. One of them coming in the round of 16. As you take another look here, as Villarreal was just trying to send it out wide for Gutierrez, but just couldn't get enough on it. Now here is Gutierrez trying to send the ball across. Delivery is denied, but it does surrender a corner, and Chorrillo looked mighty confident over the past few minutes. And now this opportunity gets Richard Parra off of his seat. Looking to take advantage of a set piece here is Chorrillo. Big bodies forward for Chorrillo. Blackburn was looking to find a header. Gutierrez holding off Matarrita, he did well. And Chorrillo will maintain possession with a throw-in. Good defensive pressure early on from Santos. This really is a battle of 2 opposite teams. Defensive and offensive minded are both Santos and Chorrillo respectively. Chorrillo kept 2 clean sheets in the round of 16 of the Scotiabank Concacaf League, whereas Santos poured in 8 goals. However, giving up 3 to a much inferior San Juan Jablote team. As Matarrita drawing the foul there. Elkin Mosquera, the culprit on that particular instance. This one sent all the way back towards Sierra. He'll see it out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for Miguel Vargas. So Santos have certainly slowed down early on. Allowing Chorrillo to find a rhythm a little bit here. Rolando Blackburn still trying to make his imprint, as well as this Chorrillo attacking front. Oscar Villarreal again had a goal called off just about 5 minutes ago. Just about a half a step offside as Madrigal and Villarreal challenge for the header. The captain Blackburn giving chase here along with Kenny Cunningham of Santos, and it's Cunningham who comes away with it. Gutierrez with a neat defensive touch to keep it. But then an even better sliding challenge coming the other way. And it's sent towards Miguel Vargas, and the crowd here at Estadio Nacional growing a bit restless with their home side. Gutierrez. Along for Luis Roja. Roja sends it towards the back post, hoping for Alfredo Stevens. Barquero wisely seeing that out of bounds. Barquero started in the first leg against San Juan Jablote in the round of 16. Didn't start on the road in Panama City. But Johnny Chavez, feeling the defender, can have something to offer to try and seal the deal here. Blackman sending this one, and it's not a bad ball. And it forced a defensive header out of Santos. It'll remain with Chorrillo. Marvin Abando with the defensive header, and now Luis Rojas making his way forward. Very solid 1v1 defender, as well as more than capable of delivering quality service with that left foot of his. Now setting up the long throw-in. Rojas didn't get very far, but there's the flick on. Jose Garro gets there first. But Osvaldo Rigo's poking it away from Vargas, and now putting on the brakes and wisely trying to slow things up. But the ball the other way is inch perfect for Kenny Cunningham. Cunningham in on goal, sends it across. It's Matarrita! Santos with a huge goal here in the 18th minute. It's a lightning quick counterattack. Cunningham did the work. Matarrita finishes it off. And now it's 2-0 to Santos on aggregate. Well, how about this ball from Osvaldo Rodriguez? Probably about a net of 60 yards running the other way. And then Kenny Cunningham in stride, picks his head up. Matarrita makes that proper run into the middle of the box. And with Vargas sprawled off of his line, all Matarrita had to do was slide it home. And that could prove to be the difference maker, as Chorrillo would now need 3 goals in order to go through to the semifinal. One more look at it. Great work from Kenny Cunningham. And then here's the best angle of it all. Seeing the ball go into the back of the net. Starling Matarrita, who has been in terrific form. Had a goal in the round of 16, most recently coming off a goal against Municipal Liberia in the Costa Rican Domestic League, and now scoring a huge goal here at Estadio Nacional that could put them through to the semifinal. Things certainly look bleak now for Chorrillo. They were on the front foot for the past 10 minutes or so, but one quick counterattack from this Johnny Chavez side. And you had a feeling that that was exactly how Santos were going to score, with Chorrillo throwing numbers forward constantly and not allowing Santos to dominate possession, and them having themselves to have to be on the ball more so than not. We're always going to commit numbers forward and expose themselves defensively. And that's exactly what Santos did, exposing this Chorrillo back line, using their pace, getting him behind. And you can't say enough about the ball from Osvaldo Rodriguez, who was the hero in the first leg, scoring the goal, but now playing the distributor role, the maestro, the architect of this goal here in the second leg. Gutierrez trying to bring it down. Cunningham, who's coming off the assist of the Matarrita goal, up for the header. Villarreal cushions it nicely. Hooked away. And Santos coming away with it again. Azofeifa going out wide for Raymond Salas. Joined by some comrades in the attacking third. Sent along, there's a sliding challenge. It is right outside of the box. And Elkin Mosquera is going into Yadel Martinez's book here in the 21st minute. Chorrillo feel they have a case. Yadel Martinez says otherwise, and now another dangerous set-piece opportunity for Santos, who are buzzing after scoring the opening goal here in the second leg. And another look at the challenge. Certainly the right call from Yadel Martinez. Mosquera just about an inch or two away from getting all ball, caught a little bit of the attacking player. Now Santos with another opportunity to really finish off this Chorrillo team before we even reach the 23-minute mark. Mosquera and Sierra sorting out the defensive issues that they're going to have to deal with at the moment. Like it's Azofeifa on top of it. Bending it in, going for goal, and it Wasn't too far off. Just trying to catch the goalkeeper off of his line and napping. And almost ended up pulling it off. Good idea from Wilmer Azofeifa, who has 3 assists in the Scotiabank Concacaf League. Pulling all the strings in the middle of the park for Johnny Chavez's side. Mosquera trying to bring it down. The Colombian doing extremely well. Now along the sideline, looking for perhaps Alfredo Stevens, one of their leading goal scorers, but a bit of a hospital ball there, and Santos coming away with it. And there's another sliding challenge on Barquero, who's been extremely busy over the past couple of minutes, and Yarel Martinez immediately pointing in the opposite direction. Santos really playing with a lot of swagger at the moment. Cunningham. Monguillo. Along for Barquero. Tipping it in, looking for Raymond Salas. And Blackman just going to see that out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Miguel Vargas, who surrendered the opening goal here in the second leg. Not much he could have done about it, having to deal with Kenny Cunningham, who was streaking in and was on top of the ball. Had to rely on his defense to mark properly, but Starling Matarrita held his run and entered a dangerous area at an opportune moment and seized the opportunity. And it is 1-0 to Santos in this particular match here in the second leg, but 2-0 more importantly on aggregate, as well as an away goal in their back pocket. Not able to find Loaiza on the near side here. Stevens looking to turn on Juan Madrigal. Trying to slip it through. It was a decent ball, but offside was David Loaiza. Santos very much in control now. Up 2-0 on aggregate. Don't nearly have to be as offensive as they were in the opening moments of this match. They were flying all over the pitch and allowing a lot of room for Chorrillo to play because they were going after an early goal. And Johnny Chavez, very much a manager who believes that sometimes the best defense is a good offense. And just simply trying to score more goals than the opposition, which is obvious considering it's the concept of this sport. But at the same time, in these first and second leg format tournaments, there are a lot more tactics that go into it than if it were just a single elimination format. But Chavez, no matter what the aggregate says or what the tournament format is simply going to go for goal. It's just the sort of style that he approaches the game with. And it has certainly paid dividends early on. This side have yet to lose a match in this 2017-2018 season, as it appears that Chorrillo have earned themselves a corner, seemingly out of nothing. Alfredo Stevens with some bullish work over on the far side, and now Chorrillo can send some numbers forward. Villarreal and Loaiza both on top of the corner, drawing a couple of Santos defenders outwards. They like to play it short. Loaiza off for Villarreal. Now they'll just be fortunate to get the ball in. They do. There's the header, and it's just wide from Alfredo Stevens, who also took a knock to the noggin in the process. And you can see there Alejandro Gomez and Alfredo Stevens colliding, and Richard Parra along with the Chorrillo bench thinking they might have just had one. It appears that maybe Kenny Cunningham was the one who collided with Alfredo Stevens as well. Very physical matchup between these two teams back in Panama City, in which Santos came away with a 1-0 win thanks to a goal from Osvaldo Rodriguez in the 41st minute. And this matchup here, this time in San Jose, Costa Rica, no different in terms of the physicality. Taking a look here as a number of bodies challenging the ball in that particular play, as Stevens getting a bloody nose attended to. Cunningham a little bit shaken up as well. Hopefully both of these two hard and fierce competitors will be able to continue. Marvin Obando receiving some instructions from Johnny Chavez. Stevens still trying to deal with the leak there on the sideline. And we will resume play, both with 10 players currently on the pitch. As Ofeifa. Obando. Villarreal with some neat skill. Rojas. Putting his hands up in the air, looking for an option. He finds one with Carlos Gutierrez, but he squanders that opportunity. And as Ofeifa will spray it all the way out wide for Kenny Cunningham, who has come back onto the pitch, cleared by the medical staff. Juan Madrigal striding forward from that center back position. It's good football here from Santos. How about that step from Luis Rojas? Very stingy Chorrillo back line. Most of their problems lie in the attacking third. As Ofeifa goes down, not wanting to receive any sort of pleasantries from the Chorrillo captain, Rolando Blackburn, captaining the side in his first game back for Chorrillo. Him and Ofeifa colliding in the middle of the park. And Blackburn signed just about a week ago, 27-year-old from Panama. Played for Chorrillo in 2011 through 2014, 40 appearances, 14 goals. Nicknamed El Toro for his bullish-like work in the opposition's defensive third, as Ofeifa will now receive some medical treatment. And Yadel Martinez now motioning for the stretcher to be carried on. And Monguillo and Blackburn exchanging some words here. Those two have seen each other a number of times in the Costa Rican Domestic League. Blackburn, of course, spending a couple of years with Deportiva Saprissa of Costa Rica. We've already punched their ticket into the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Santos looking to join them by way of winning the Scotiabank Concacaf League. Champion, of course, will receive a bid, and here's another look at the goal. Cunningham, Matarrita, 2-0 on aggregate for Santos. In the blink of an eye, Chorrillo's hopes dwindling down. And you can see what it means to the Santos staff, as well as the goalkeeper Alejandro Gomez getting the start instead of Brian Morales tonight, and now working with a 1-goal cushion as we resume play from Estadio Nacional. Gutierrez looking up with Stevens, sending it out wide for Oscar Villarreal. Very clever in his attacking display there, but showing a bit too much of his touch, and now Chorrillo will claim it after Santos were trying to clear it away. Gutierrez trying to chip it in. Blackburn maybe not noticing that that ball wasn't intended for him, and now Santos clearing it the other way, but surrendering possession to Chorrillo. And Santos need to be careful here. This game's certainly not done and dusted as far as the aggregate is concerned. Much crazier things have happened in the fickle game of football. Mosquera looking for an option, trying to go over the top for Stevens as Gomez comes off of his line and does well there. Playing a bit of a sweeper-keeper role with Santos playing a high back line, and Alfredo Stevens cannot get there. Cunningham couldn't get a clean touch to it. Chorrillo will look to operate quickly. Down 2 goals on aggregate. Time certainly not on their side. It's a good ball ahead. The touch brought down from Loaiza was almost perfect, but Gomez is able to collect. Again, he is playing well off of his line with his front four, trying to set up an offsides trap of sorts. And he does have to act as that last defender. Santos unable to find Osvaldo Rodriguez. Wasn't initially in the starting lineup coming into this Concacaf League or in the Costa Rican Domestic League, but he's played his way into it and has really been an integral part of this attacking force for Santos. And now here they are again, off and running. Starling Matarrita, still Matarrita sliding it across, but the offside flag is up. Matarrita might have waited just a hair too long. Oh, and that's mighty close on the far side there. Luis Rojas gambled in not stepping forward and just trying to play it even. But the gamble paid off, and the assistant referee on the near side holding his flag up, indicating offside. And here's the previous chance in which Alfredo Stevens was trying to get onto. But Alejandro Gomez doing well. And then just moments after that, David Loaiza couldn't quite get the touch to it. And a foul against Chorrillo. Alfredo Stevens with some body gyrations to express how displeased he is with the call. Bumping Jose Garro, who is in midair. The right call from the head referee, Adel Martinez, and now another foul called against Chorrillo, and Santos will play quickly. 12 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here in the first half of this second leg of the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. Villarreal sending it along for Blackburn, the captain getting a touch on it. El Toro bending it into the box, hoping for Stevens, nodding the header along. Wasn't a bad idea, but that is more than a difficult task from about 16 yards away to try to snap that header on frame. Stevens unable to do that, and Alejandro Gomez able to just see it go wide, as the goalkeeper for Santos has been able to keep a clean sheet thus far. Hasn't necessarily been tested in terms of shot stopping, but certainly had his work cut out for him in terms of dealing with long balls over the top and crosses. Rojas. Send it along for Villarreal, but not his best ball from Rojas. Matarrita. Away from the defender, has to take a negative touch to get away from Villarreal. And Santos will start over again. Chorrillo having to come out with a little bit more of a pressing mentality here, in the Olays being heard throughout Estadio Nacional here in San Jose, Costa Rica, as Santos continue to play their way around this Panamanian side. Oh, it's beautiful football. Absolute eye candy from Santos here, but the offside flag is up. The assistant referee breaking up the passing clinic that Santos were putting on display here. And not exactly sure about that one, as Rojas may have been keeping him onside, but either way, it'll be a free kick for Chorrillo. Superb fan base for this Costa Rican side. Did have to travel some ways to come see this match in Estadio Nacional in San Jose. Cunningham trying to keep it in play. Sierra. Flipping it forward. Stevens brings it down beautifully. Now looking to go around. Loaiza. The back post. Blackburn trying to get on the end of it. Ramon Salas in good defensive position. That's what these outside wingers are going to have to do for this Santos side. Come back for their defensive responsibilities, because Chorrillo are going to have numbers, being down 2-0 on aggregate. And this one blown offside. David Loaiza getting the start here tonight. In from an offside position. Perhaps we have even a foul called against Loaiza. Matarrita in plenty of space. Looking for an option. Rojas tripping him up from behind, but cleanly and within the laws of the game. Sierra looking for anybody to come back to the ball and help him out, as the front three for Chorrillo are just sitting on the Santos back four. But then the question becomes, how is the ball going to get there? That seems to be the problem that Chorrillo are going to have to answer at halftime and beyond. If you're just joining us, Starling Matarrita got the goal scoring started in the 18th minute thanks to a beautiful setup from Kenny Cunningham that was originally set up by Osvaldo Rodriguez, who had the goal in the first leg back in Panama City, as Kenny Cunningham committing the foul there, just trying to hold up Cesar Blackman. Free kick sent in. Blackburn up for it. It's a good ball in. Stevens was looking for it. It looks like the offside flag is up on the far side. Another good opportunity for Chorrillo, as Santos have had problems dealing with set pieces from Chorrillo. And another good call from the AR, as Stevens just a hair offside. But Rolando Blackburn has certainly been a nuisance up top. Just trying to help out his team aerially and win some headers in Santos' defensive third. And now Kenny Cunningham taken down in a free kick for Santos. Elkin Mosquera, the Colombian, guilty on that play. Just clever skill from Cunningham to skip away from the Colombian. Richard Parra with some things to sort out at halftime. His side down 2-0 on aggregate, having to get 3 goals just to get through. Vargas off of his line, making sure Matarrita doesn't get any further. Stevens helping it along, asking for a foul, and he does get one from Yadel Martinez. Santos scrambling to get behind the ball and in defensive shape. Out wide for Villarreal, bending it in. Oh, almost an own goal there from Juan Madrigal, who didn't know much about it. And now a corner here for Chorrillo. Just quick play from Chorrillo off the restart. And Juan Madrigal just sticking out a leg. That's exactly how own goals usually happen, as a defender just sticking out a leg innocently, trying to get a foot on the ball. Fortunately, it didn't go in the back of the net, as this corner sent in, doesn't get past the first defender. And now Matarrita thumping it the other way, hoping for a teammate to run onto it, as Rojas almost made a mess of it. Blackman sending the other way, and Alfredo Stevens here is going to be called offside. And he's shown his frustration with his body language a number of times, and the fans here at Estadio Nacional having their fun with Alfredo Stevens, the 22-year-old, who has 3 goals this season already. One of them coming in the round of 16 against Progreso. Sierra clearing it away. Last touch off of Santos, so it will be a Chorrillo throw-in. We're trying to scramble for a goal before halftime. That would certainly lift their spirits and give them a better chance heading into the second half. But if the scoreline does read this way after the first 45 minutes, it would need to be 3 goals in the second half for Chorrillo to go through to the semifinals. Not necessarily insurmountable, but more than difficult. Stevens just cannot keep it in play, as it has been a frustrating night for the 22-year-old. Still trying to develop a little bit of chemistry with Rolando Blackburn, who returned to the side this week for the first time since 2014. And it's always offensive chemistry that takes the longest to build in a it might just be a little bit too late for Chorrillo to try to develop that here in the second leg of this Scotiabank Concacaf League quarterfinal. Rodriguez along for Cunningham, who did well to keep it. Skips away from Rojas. Azofeifa. Azofeifa again. Wide for Obando. Very patient here from Santos. Azofeifa away from the defender. Still Azofeifa. Goes for goal. Comes back out to Osvaldo Rodriguez. Rodriguez back for Azofeifa, clipping it in. But Mosquera is there, and a lot of numbers committed forward the other way for Santos. As Chorrillo looking to operate quickly the other way. Alfredo Stevens away from Obando. And that's going to be a yellow card for Marvin Obando, who went in a little bit recklessly there on that challenge. Maybe a tactical foul, but either way, it is mustard to Marvin Obando here in the 43rd minute. Late on the tackle from behind. No choice but for Yadiel Martinez to reach to the front pocket. And the outside back will now need to be a little bit more careful heading into future challenges. Gutierrez towards the back post. Gomez off of his line, but able to claim it. And the goalkeeper, who isn't normally their first choice on the start sheet, having a very solid night so far here in San Jose. Oscar Villarreal up for the header. Gutierrez claiming the second ball. Come along the sideline. They've really been peppering this left flank here, looking for Oscar Villarreal. Same game plan that Richard Parra had in the first leg, and it seemingly worked basically for the entire match, if not for one moment of glory for Osvaldo Rodriguez in the 41st minute. Garo. The Olays are out here again in Estadio Nacional. Comes all the way over for Juan Mondragal, left off for Obando. Sent along for Matarrita. Rojas getting there first. Gutierrez just clips it along for Villarreal. Oscar Villarreal away from Obando with some very clever footwork there. Azofeifa reading the pass the whole way. Home side encouraging Santos to push forward the other way for maybe one more goal. That would be lights out for Chorrillo. Rodriguez. The goal scorer, Matarrita. Oh, it's mesmerizing football from the Costa Ricans. As we're going to have 2 minutes of stoppage time added on here in the first 45 minutes. As that ball goes along the sideline for Blackburn. El Toro trying to deal with two Santos defenders. A little bit of difficulty. Mondragal just shielding him off. Yadiel Martinez approaching the scene, just trying to make sure there's no foul play. The ball somehow makes its way out. Finds the feet of Osvaldo Rodriguez. Plays it along for Raymond Salas. 1v1 here with Sierra. Along for Kenny Cunningham. Broken up though in the middle of the park. Santos will keep possession. Matarrita. Both teams looking a little bit fatigued here. Heading towards halftime. Both sides will certainly need the break, as it has been a very up and down first half. Mosquera heads it away. Matarrita looking for the return for Cunningham, but he was in an offside position. And Chorrillo will have a free kick. Again, the assistant referee spot on there. About an arm's length offside was Kenny Cunningham. As Santos dispossessed Chorrillo right before they enter a relatively dangerous attacking area. All the way back for Alejandro Gomez. As we slowly but surely approach the halftime whistle from Yadiel Martinez, in which Chorrillo will have to muster up 3 goals in the second half if they're not able to find one here right at the last of the opening 45 minutes. Gutierrez trying to cut it out. A foul called against Gutierrez on Osvaldo Rodriguez. He's really played some great football in this Scotiabank Concacaf League, and that's going to do it for the first half. Santos, the home side here in the second leg of the quarterfinals, jumping out to an early lead in this match and an even bigger lead on the aggregate. Starling Matarrita's goal in the 18th minute puts Santos up 2-0 on aggregate, and Chorrillo will have to muster up some sort of comeback in the second half if they're going to have any chance of going through towards the semifinals. We'll be back in just a few moments with highlights from the first half. Welcome back to Estadio Nacional here in San Jose, Costa Rica for this second leg of the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League quarterfinals between Chorrillo and Santos. And right off the bat, there was almost a very early opportunity for Santos to get a goal. As we'll take a look at some of the best moments from the first 45 minutes. Raymond Salas trying to find Starling Matarrita, but cleaned up by Luis Rojas. As we'll take one more look. It was beautifully flicked on by Cunningham, and then Salas just unable to find Matarrita before Luis Rojas could recover. And then Chorrillo would have their opportunities. This one here would eventually be blown offside as Oscar Villarreal would put it in the back of the net, and it appeared to be a beautiful start for Chorrillo. But a great call from the assistant referee, and we'll take another look as to exactly why that is. The ball sent in from Stevens is inch perfect, but Oscar Villarreal just a step offside. And then in the 18th minute, Santos getting a goal that would prove to be monumental. Kenny Cunningham finding Starling Matarrita, and the crowd here at Estadio Nacional going absolutely bonkers for their home side. As Starling Matarrita with his second goal in as many games, including Costa Rican domestic league play as well. Take another look. A positive touch from Cunningham into space, forcing Vargas off of his line, and then Starling Matarrita making the proper run, doing the running. And all he has to do is slot it down the middle. He actually ended up finishing it off with his shin, but whether it's with his shin, toe, knee, face, or chest, it does not matter. They all count the same. And one more look at Cunningham picking out Matarrita, knew exactly where number 88 was making his run to. And Cunningham in the process knocking over one of the advertising stanchions here at Estadio Nacional. And Santos jumping out to a very important lead. It would give them a goal that puts them up 2-0 on aggregate, including an away goal in their back pocket. So now it's forcing Chorrillo to have to score 3 goals here in the second half, as that would be the only goal in the first 45 minutes, and you can see what it means to the fans here at Estadio Nacional. But Chorrillo would have a couple of opportunities throughout the rest of the first half. They would knock on the door, but nobody would be able to answer that final question for Chorrillo, as they have their problems offensively, very stingy defensively, rarely get caught out and surrender goals, but they did surrender a big one to Starling Matarrita, and that would do it for our highlights from the first 45 minutes. And you can see there, Chorrillo meeting in the middle of the park. They're obviously going to have to muster up something special here in the second half to try to go through to the semifinals. It's going to take 3 goals in order for them to do that, as we are approaching second half kickoff. And right now we'll take a look at some of the stats from the first half, and you can see there's Santos with a slight edge in possession, getting a couple shots on goal as well. Chorrillo have not been able to find the target and challenge Alejandro Gomez, who is not their first choice in goalkeeper, but getting the start tonight. So it might serve them well to maybe just put some shots on frame and see if the young goalkeeper can handle them, or perhaps not, and maybe try to put one in off a rebound. But either way, it's going to take 3 goals in the second half, and that's barring if they're able to keep a very high-octane offensive Santos off the board for the remaining 45 minutes. We'll step away for another quick minute or two, but when we come back, we'll have second half kickoff here from San Jose, Costa Rica. back here at Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica, what should make for an electric second half as Chorrillo and Rolando Blackburn, aka El Toro, will try to muster up a miraculous comeback here on the road against a very solid Costa Rican side who has just poured in goal after goal in the Scotiabank Concacaf League, defeating San Juan Jablote 8-3 on aggregate, getting a very important away goal against a stingy Chorrillo defense back in Panama City. And now all they need to do is lock it down for the next 45 minutes. And then this Costa Rican side, Santos de Guápiles, will move on to the semifinals and have an opportunity to play in the championship. We'll obviously have to wait and see who their opponent is going to be if they're able to hold on. And now we're going to have a substitution made by Chorrillo here at halftime, as it is going to be Luis Hurtado, who came off the bench in the first leg back in Panama City. So Luis Hurtado coming on here right at halftime. And we will see if that young man is able to make an impact, as Richard Parra's side will look to complete the near impossible. Certainly been done before in first and second leg formats, coming back from 3-goal deficits. Just ask Barcelona in this year's past UEFA Champions League. But this is certainly a tough task, as Santos have looked mighty impressive, both on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. Chorrillo have done well and have obviously had their chances. They had a goal called back very early on in the first half. Oscar Villarreal waved off for offside. We'll see if they can muster up a goal that counts this time, and then perhaps the floodgates will open and Santos will be put under pressure. With all sorts of if, ands, buts, or maybes to sort out here in the second half as we are underway. And by the end of these 90 minutes, one way or another, we will have our first semifinalists in the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. Again, Tyler Terrence, glad to have you with us here at Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica. Chorrillo making one change at the half. Luis Hurtado coming on. And a little bit more offensive firepower for Richard Parra's side heading in to the second half. You're going to see a very wide open 45 minutes from now on here. Chorrillo have no choice but to toss as many numbers as humanly possible up the field. And already with a solid start, Michael Borquero putting in that challenge. Blackburn, back for Blackman. Hurtado trying to let it run through, maybe trying to win a corner. Doesn't necessarily do that, but does want to throw it. Stevens looking to post up. Last touch off of Santos, and it is going to be a corner for Chorrillo. Santos were asking for a handball, and probably rightfully so, as it popped up on Alfredo Stevens, and now Oscar Villarreal trotting over to take the corner. You take another look here, it is exactly what Santos were asking for, and it would have appeared to hit Stevens' chest. Either way, a corner for Chorrillo. Villarreal whipping in a decent ball. Madrigal up for the header. Perhaps it was Eder Munguio as Blackman sends it back in. Mosquera up for it. Alejandro Gomez bullied over. No call from the referee, but now we are going to get one, as Yadel Martinez was waiting to see if there was any advantageous play unfolding. The answer was no, and a free kick for Alejandro Gomez, who's kept a clean sheet up until this point. Kenny Cunningham. Able to want to throw in for Santos. Luis Rojas had a very solid defensive first half, as well as a first leg. Part of this stout defensive unit for Richard Parra, as that ball over the top for Monterrita. It's a beautiful ball. Monterrita into the box, hoping for Salas. Not to back. Osvaldo Rodriguez is there. Osvaldo Rodriguez gets stuck up. Salas putting in a challenge. Loaiza was there, and a foul called against Raymond Salas. Well, that certainly could have been lights out, if not for a very solid challenge there from Mosquera. And now Hurtado on the other end. Hurtado going for goal. Gomez makes the save. Stevens across for Villarreal, puts it on Freud, but it's over the bar. Eder Monguillo making sure that Villarreal didn't have a clean look on goal. We'll take another look at it. As Hurtado with some very neat footwork to get away from Eder Monguillo. And then Villarreal just could not put it on target. Gomez was sprawled off of his line. Could have been a very good chance there for Chorrillo to get one back and pull within 2 goals. And you see Villarreal with a very neat touch to clean it up and just be able to try to put it on frame. And again, you can see the reaction and the emotion from the Chorrillo bench, who are just looking for something to build off of. And a little bit of anxious feelings around Estadio Nacional for Santos, who know they're not out of the woods yet. And Chorrillo applying sustained pressure to the Santos back line, which has fluttered at times throughout these first 48 minutes and 45 seconds. Blackburn bringing it down for Stevens, who had a frustrating first half. Villarreal. Stevens trying to skip away from the defender. A foul called against Jose Garro. And now a free kick for Chorrillo. Alejandro Gomez tasked now with organizing this Santos back line. They've had some problems dealing with Chorrillo set pieces thus far. Gutierrez towards the back post, hoping Sierra will rise for it. That is the case. Stevens trying to send it in, and he's able to win another corner. So Chorrillo doing all of the right things early on, applying pressure, winning set pieces, but it hasn't resulted in anything in the back of the net just yet. Villarreal to go over and take the corner once more. Kenny Cunningham having to come back for defensive responsibilities. Orlando Blackburn looking to get his first goal back in a Chorrillo uniform since 2014. Into the middle, Blackburn elevating, but could not get the header on frame. And a goal kick for Alejandro Gomez. It was certainly a good look for the captain, El Toro. As Santos electing to defend that corner zonally and allowing for a free header for a man of Rolando Blackburn's caliber. Certainly not a good look for Santos, but they come away unscathed, and it remains 1-0 in this particular match, 2-0 on aggregate. As Ofefa, bit of a dangerous ball there, just asking for Hurtado to come and get it. Richard Parr asking for a handball. It hit Barquero's chest. Gutierrez finding Blackburn, trying to spin away from Madrigal. But Juan Madrigal with some good defensive position back for Alejandro Gomez, who has to get rid of it as Hurtado was looming in the area. As Ofefa. Along for Kenny Cunningham. Fans here at Estadio Nacional maybe feeling a third goal on aggregate is in store. Cunningham. Santos setting up shop in Chorrillo's defensive third. Osvaldo Rodriguez. As Ofefa. The sideline again for Raymond Salas. Salas double teamed in the corner there, just trying to win something, and ends up coming off the foot of Luis Rojas. And it will be a corner for Santos. And the home crowd here very appreciative, making the 90-minute drive or so here to San Jose from the Limon area in Costa Rica. Estadio Nacional, not their home by any means, but their temporary home for the night, and making Santos feel right at home. That's Ofefa. Cunningham elevating for the header just over his head, and Sierra will clear the other way. Sierra and this Chorrillo back line have really done everything they can against a potent Santos attacking team. Only giving up 1 goal in the first leg. Not able to muster up a goal of their own, and now 1 goal here in the second. Remains to be seen if they'll put in any more, but they've been able to lock up a Santos attacking front that features some very dynamic and intuitive players. This one sent towards Stevens. He let it run through, and he actually did extremely well, knowing that Hurtado was right behind him as Blackman gets things started once again. Loaiza has his pass intercepted by Garro. Rodriguez letting the ball do the work, and does extremely well here. Rodriguez away, going up the sideline for Matarrita. Mascara in hot pursuit. Matarrita looking for an option, finds it in Azofefa. leads the Scotiabank Concacaf League in assists at the moment, as Cunningham's shot is blocked in front. And Santos will see this one out of bounds, as we have had a frantic start here to the second half. Chorrillo trying to find that opening goal that could lead to more. But Santos keeping them at bay for the moment. Loaiza with a bit of a nasty challenge there in the middle of the park on Osvaldo Rodriguez. No call though from the referee. Yadel Martinez, who's called a very solid match thus far, along with his outstanding crew, have been on top of every offside call and have gotten every one right. Villarreal helping it along. Stevens trying to wiggle his way out of some tight quarters there on the far side. Very physical battle there between Garo and Stevens. Chorrillo come away victorious. Cunningham through the legs of Gutierrez. Chorrillo will slow things down here. Almost 10 minutes gone by in the second half. Still 2-0 on aggregate for Santos. Monguillo up for the header. Blackman able to bring it down. Hurtado the substitute. Trying to dribble past 3 Santos defenders. Loaiza spraying it across for Villarreal. How about that for a ball? But Villarreal committing the foul, as it was well defended from Marvin Abando, who's had the difficult task of dealing with the voracious Villarreal. Bit of a dangerous play there from Luis Rojas, almost catching his comrade there on top of the noggin with his own boot. Rojas trying to break that Santos midfield line, but just out of the reach of Hurtado. Now things could be on here for Santos. Barquero. Quick movement here from Santos. Broken up though by Loaiza. Mosquera. Last touch off of Raymond Salas, who's also coming off a goal in that 4-2 victory over Municipal Liberia this past Saturday, along with Houston Salas, Arboine, and Matarrita, the goal scorers in that 4-2 win. As Santos have yet to lose a game in this 2017-2018 campaign, performing beautifully in both Concacaf League as well as the Costa Rican Domestic League. Chorrillo able to win another throw-in. Santos haven't had much to cheer about offensively here at the start of the second half, but that's exactly what we expected, with Chorrillo needing 3 goals. Barquero bringing it down in a dangerous area. Doesn't get a full clearance to it. Loaiza up for the header. Stevens bringing it down for Loaiza. Now for Villarreal. Through for Blackburn, but a sliding challenge by Juan Madrigal, and they needed to be, as El Toro was looming in the area. Cunningham with a bicycle kick clearance, but only as far as Carlos Gutierrez. Clipping it back in. Gomez off of his line, and he's able to catch it. Gomez trying to spark a counterattack the other way. But Chorrillo able to maintain possession once again, and this can be exhausting for Santos, having to do all this defending with no possession. Villarreal. Long for Rojas, who's getting forward from the full-back position. Rojas trying to bend it in, but couldn't quite wrap his foot around it. And a goal kick for Alejandro Gomez. Another look there as Rojas just trying to get around Juan Madrigal. Did well defensively. As the earlier play is Alfredo Stevens just trying to sell to the referee there that maybe a high foot should have been called in a dangerous set-piece area. But Yadel Martinez not buying any of what Alfredo Stevens was selling. Stevens couldn't hold off Jose Garo, but the press is on here for Chorrillo. However, a clever touch from Juan Madrigal. Kenny Cunningham looking to send it the other way, hoping for Raymond Salas, who did well to get ahead to it. But Miguel Vargas coming to clean up the pieces. Time dwindling away on this Chorrillo Scotiabank Concacaf League run. a number of Panamanian sides that advance from the round of 16, as Panama have been very well represented in the inaugural Scotiabank CONCACAF League, and now another substitution going to be made for Richard Parra. And it appears that Francisco Vence, who is very active off the bench for Chorrillo in the first leg, is going to replace Luis Rojas here. Another offensive move for Richard Parra. Blackburn offside. Asking for the ball at his feet rather than over the top, as Gomez is going to waste a bit more time here. And 2 substitutions already made for Chorrillo, 1 more remaining. Still 3 left for Johnny Chavez and Santos. Cunningham nodding it along. Sierra with a defensive header of his own. And Abando cannot get a foot to it. And Chorrillo will still claim possession here. It's just a matter of whether or not Santos are going to break. They've certainly been bending over the past few minutes under all of this Chorrillo pressure. Blackman scooting around on Salas. Villarreal with the early service. Blackburn bringing it down. Looking for an avenue out wide for Vence. The substitute back in play. Knotted along by Stevens. But Blackburn was not in the right place. And Gomez coming away with it and just hurls it the other way. And again, surrendering possession to Chorrillo. The young goalkeeper has done that a number of times. However, Chorrillo do give it right back. So take another look at that play, and Francisco Vence did well to just nod it along, and it was an important touch there from Adair Monguillo. And Richard Parra again, so close but yet so far away. It really might just take 1 goal for Chorrillo to be able to open up this Santos team. Sliding challenge there from Michael Barquero. Another Chorrillo throwing. Stevens holding off Jose Garro. Workhorse in the engine room for Santos, playing in that holding midfielder role. Villarreal did well. Vence trying to return pass for Blackburn. It is for Vence, along for Blackburn. Got through, but into the hands of Alejandro Gomez. You can see that this Chorrillo offense is really looking to go through El Toro, Panamanian international striker. But they have not been successful in these opening 61 minutes. Azofeifa. Osvaldo Rodriguez. Juan Madrigal. Stevens giving him some problems. Cleared away. Great touch there from Blackburn. It's through for Vence. He's onside. Francisco Vence, challenge from behind. But it's going to be offside. For a moment there, a couple of Santos defenders thought it might have been a penalty. It's a good idea from Carlos Gutierrez, but Francisco Vence wasn't quite aware of where he was on the pitch. And it might have cost Chorrillo a good opportunity there. Alejandro Gomez performing beautifully thus far. Getting the start tonight between the sticks for Johnny Chavez. Brian Morales getting the night off. Put away by Elkin Mosquera. Azofeifa bringing it down, and then even more so getting along for Osvaldo Rodriguez, who's encouraging Marvin Abando forward. Abando along for Raymond Salas. Hounded by Sierra. Sierra continuing to press forward. And it is going to be a foul against the Colombian center back. And a free kick for Santos. Sierra can't believe it. Take another look here. A little bit aggressive there from Sierra. Just trying to win the ball back. Challenge from behind more times than not, going to be called for a foul. Santos faithful, trying to get into it at Estadio Nacional. Ball flicked in towards the back post. Madrigal going for the volley. And it's caught cleanly by Vargas. Good idea from Madrigal. He hit it sweetly, but not sweet enough. Chorrillo surrendered possession after Vargas's distribution goes all the way to the other side for his counterpart, Alejandro Gomez. Sierra got a touch to it. Mosquera with some work to do. Spinning away from Matarrita, the home crowd encouraging the goal scorer forward. And Salas will lock up Chorrillo in their own defensive third. Beautiful game management from Santos, who have bent but not broken. Over an hour played here at Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica. Again, Tyler Terrence, glad to have you here with us on a terrific Tuesday night for football. And at the end of it, we will have one of our semi-finalists solidified for the Final Four in this inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. Azofeifa away from Carlos Gutierrez. The Olays out once more here in San Jose. Along for Ramon Salas, delivers it in, hoping for Cunningham. And a big challenge there from Cesar Blackman. As Santos, who haven't had much possession here in the second half, knocking on the door and asking questions of this Chorrillo back line. And a corner now for Santos, and an opportunity for them to catch a breather and to maybe look for a third and final goal on the aggregate that could put Chorrillo to bed. Cunningham was able to get to it first. Madrigal trying to keep it in play. The center back out of position. And now Santos scrambling to get back in defensive shape here. Santos supporters can start to smell a semi-final berth. Ramon Salas did well defensively. Osvaldo Rodriguez gets it to the orchestrator, Wilmer Azofeifa. Rodriguez helping it along for Matarrita in a foot race with Mosquera. And that's what the Colombian can do. Recovery pace, as well as deft challenges. Azofeifa finding Osvaldo Rodriguez. Another challenge for Mosquera to break things up, but Santos maintain possession in Chorrillo's defensive third. However, they do win it back in the form of Alfredo Stevens. Carlos Gutierrez leading the counterattack the other way, hoping for this speedy Vence. But a solid challenge there from Marvin Abando. Back and forth we go in San Jose. It's certainly been an entertaining 65.5 minutes, but no breakthrough from Chorrillo, as we're going to have one more substitution from Richard Parra, and it's going to come in the form of Jair Cotoy, who's going to come on and replace Oscar Villarreal, who certainly had a frustrating night here in San Jose away from Panama. Ball sent in. Blackburn was waiting for it. Ramon Salas, as Chorrillo continue to open things up offensively, sending more and more numbers forward. A long-range effort there that just goes wide as Alejandro Gomez can see it out of bounds and take it for a goal kick. Another look there at what some Santos fans thought were a foul. Matarrita just selling it. Yedel Martinez right on top of it. And not falling for Starling Matarrita's tricks in the middle of the park. Loaiza. Looking for Stevens. Barquero and him collide. The ball ends up sitting up perfectly for Santos to get on the end of it. However, they surrender possession to Elkin Mosquera. And Alfredo Stevens in an offside position. .23 minutes remaining plus stoppage time for Chorrillo to try to muster something up, or to perhaps just even get a goal in this Scotiabank Concacaf League quarterfinal. They were held scoreless in the first leg. Got their away goal in the form of Osvaldo Rodriguez as Isidoro Monguillo holding his shoulder. After that, Alfredo Stevens challenge. Stevens has gone into a number of challenges a bit recklessly tonight. Sent the other way. Blackburn trying to hold it up, but Jose Garro cleaning things up in the middle of the field. And Carlos Gutierrez winning the free kick. Chorrillo were trying to play quickly, but ball was still moving. Stevens just bulldozing over Barquero and winning the ball back. However, surrendering it to Wilmer Azofeifa. Madrigal. Cunningham. Jose Garro. The Olays echoing throughout Estadio Nacional. However, they come to a halt as Chorrillo win the ball back. Now for Blackburn, who's in some space. However, it's Jair Catoy going for goal. And it's just wide of the post. It was Jair Catoy the whole time. And his shot just fizzes wide of the left post. Great opportunity here. And look how far out Alejandro Gomez comes to try to cut off the angle to prevent the curler from finding the far post. Good idea from the substitute. The final substitute for Richard Parra. Certainly would have started the Chorrillo comeback, as they're going to need 3 goals in just over 20 minutes to go through to the semifinal. And that task becoming more and more difficult with every second that goes by. Carlos Gutierrez surveying for an option. Picks out Vence, sending it through for Blackburn. Gomez off of his line and did extremely well, because Blackburn would have been in if it weren't for a great challenge from the young goalkeeper. Azofeifa away from Gutierrez. How good has Azofeifa been tonight? Really dominates the middle of the park. Penetrating ball from Cunningham. Osvaldo Rodriguez waiting for the cavalry to arrive, and it does in the form of Barquero. Garro. A private game with Azofeifa. This one just lobbed forward towards Miguel Vargas, who cleans it up. Hasn't had much work to do in the second half, with Chorrillo dominating possession. Blackburn trying to help it along. A strong defensive header though from the captain, Eder Munguillo. The two captains go at it once more. Now Blackman striding forward. Looking for early delivery. Takes a deflection off of Michael Barquero. And it will be a Santos throw-in, or perhaps a Chorrillo throw-in. Garro. Matarrita cleaning it up. But only as far as Elkin Mosquera. Sierra. Wide for Vence. Looking to link up with Hurtado. Hurtado finding Catoy. Catoy going for goal. Gomez handles it cleanly. Catoy and Blackburn were waiting for the young goalkeeper to spill it, but he did well to hang out to it. Under 20 minutes remaining now. Santos inching closer and closer to a semifinal berth. Large disconnect now between the Chorrillo back line and their midfielders as they try to find their way up the park. A number of players just sitting on top of the Santos back line. And we do have a substitute waiting to come on for Johnny Chavez. It looks like it's going to be Christian Lagos to make way for a Santos player to be named at a later point. Vence was hoping for the return pass. Osvaldo Rodriguez clears it, but only as far as Carlos Gutierrez. Good challenge there from Azofeifa. Cunningham away, finding Osvaldo Rodriguez. Now along for Raymond Salas, but Cesar Blackman did very well to track back. Ball sent the other way. Stevens tangled up there. Richard Parra can't believe it on the sideline. He thought the foul should have gone the other way, or perhaps no call at all. And instead it goes against his striker, Alfredo Stevens. And now Christian Lagos going to come on and replace Raymond Salas, who gets a round of applause from the Santos faithful here at Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica, about 90 minutes away from their home in Limon. And now Christian Lagos coming on here in the 73rd minute to provide some fresh legs for Johnny Chavez and to see this one out. A couple of fans noticing that they're getting up on the big screen here at the Estadio Nacional. All smiles from the Santos supporters as they are in firm control of this match and this quarterfinal. And a nasty challenge there over on the far side. Could be trouble for Marvin Abando, who's already on a yellow card. And that's the last warning from Yadel Martinez. And to look for a moment like you might go to the pocket, and that certainly is a reckless challenge. I don't know about that, folks. Could have been a second yellow for Marvin Abando. That certainly could have changed the complexion of this match and the quarterfinal. No call from Yadel Martinez. This one sent over the top. And Stevens absolutely livid, and Gomez falling on top of it, wasting as much time as humanly possible. Blackman. Alfredo Stevens. Goes all the way back for Sierra. Really, Mosquera and Sierra, the only two defensive sure things back for Chorrillo at the moment. Cunningham in space. Lots of room for Santos to try to counter. They haven't handled it all that well just yet. Maybe an opportunity for Chorrillo on the double counter. Broken up by Juan Madrigal. Given some problems by Jair Cotoy. No call from Yadel Martinez, and Chorrillo will have a throw in deep in Santos territory. A little more than 15 minutes remaining for Chorrillo to try to muster up 3 goals. Cotoy sending it in. Alejandro Gomez, as well as Adair Manguillo, pleading to the assistant referee that the ball had gone out of play already, but it is going to be a corner for the Panamanian side. Sensei on top of the corner. It's an outswinger. Manguillo up for the header. And offside are a number of Chorrillo players. Cotoy and Blackburn, one of them. Gomez the other way. Through for Matarrita. But he was offside. Crowd here didn't know it until the shot had already gone wide. But that could have been a brace for Starling Matarrita. And again, another very close call, but it looks to be the right one, as Sierra might have been a step behind the striker. It was performed beautifully at the start of this 2017-2018 campaign for Johnny Chavez. Goals in both Concacaf League and the Costa Rican League. Matarrita, plenty of space the other way. Cunningham asking for it, but it goes the way of Osvaldo Rodriguez, and Cunningham can't believe it. And now numbers the other way for Chorrillo. It's another wasted opportunity for the Panamanian club. Well, here is Cunningham. Looking for early delivery. Lagos up for the header, but could not get a clean head to it. Thumbs up of approval in terms of the ball and the idea from Kenny Cunningham. Time running out on Chorrillo. Santos that much closer to a historic moment for the club and for this league, as they will be the first ever to punch their ticket to a Scotiabank Concacaf League semifinal. Another look at the foul there committed by Christian Lagos. Obviously a number of games still to be played in the quarterfinals, as this one brought down for Blackburn. Looking for an option. Has to go backwards for Cesar Blackman. Moves out wide for Sierra. Center back creeping forward. Trying to find Blackburn is taken down, no call though. Good positive touch here from Luis Hurtado, but cleared away by Santos, who have really bottled up this Chorrillo attacking front, even though they've been at a numerical disadvantage for a number of times throughout this match, dealing with all of the pressure that Chorrillo has thrown their way. Gutierrez. And wide for Vence. Hurtado. Catoya was waiting for it. Perhaps didn't know much about it. Now Cunningham going the other way. Carlos Gutierrez really laboring. Cunningham going across, and how about that for a stick out of the leg from Elkin Mosquera. Loaiza breaks up the pass there from Barquero. Blackburn coming back for defensive responsibilities. Holding off Jose Garro. Now going out wide for Stevens, but out of his reach. And that has been the story of the night for Chorrillo and for Richard Parra. It looks like we are going to have another substitution. And it's going to come in the form of Houston Salas, who's going to replace Starling Matarrita, who provided this big goal for Santos that essentially sealed the deal for the Costa Rican club to head to the semifinal. And now Houston Salas, who provided a goal in their most recent match against Municipal Liberia, as well as the first leg of the round of 16 against San Juan Jabalotet, comes on here in the 80th minute to help see this one out. As Ofefa brings it down, finding Cunningham. Obando moving forward, playing it through for Cunningham. Cunningham held up, asking for the foul. Might have been better served, just keep playing and playing through the contact. But either way, it's Sierra the other way. Vence looking for an option, still Vence. But cannot squeeze his way through. And Gomez picks it up. And more looks of frustration from this Panamanian side, who have not been able to break through a Costa Rican defense of Santos that has performed brilliantly for the first 81 minutes of this match. Another look there, as not much in that from Sierra. Cunningham expressing his displeasure. The assistant referee, who is right there to watch it all, have to side with the AR there. Not much in it, as Carlos Gutierrez sends it the other way. Catoya up for the header, but stronger to the punch was Eder Munguio. Obando. Cunningham. Four tips there from Azofeifa. Now Chorrillo could be away. Blackburn. Not enough zip on that pass for the captain. Santos have essentially done their job here at home at Estadio Nacional. In front of a very solid crowd here for a Tuesday night matchup, an hour and a half away from their home in Limon. Stevens brings it down, asking for it back, and Stevens has just been frustrated the whole night, and it shows in his body language. Osvaldo Rodriguez around the first defender. Couldn't get around the second, as Mosquera keeping it in play. Clock winding down. Santos that much closer to a semifinal berth, and Chorrillo that much closer to being ousted from the first ever Scotiabank Concacaf League. Gutierrez through for Vence. Back for Hurtado. Hurtado looking for the first goal of the quarterfinals. It finds Stevens. Back out for Hurtado, laying it off for Gutierrez. Flips it in behind, but Monquillo is there. Lagos bringing it down. Houston Salas. Dispossessed by Cotoy. Could be trouble here for Santos. But a great challenge right at the last there. Looks like it came from Juan Madrigal. And Chorrillo starting to turn on themselves a little bit, as that has been the story of their night. Hurtado and Cotoy not happy with that last attack, but either way it will be a corner for the Panamanian club. And it's Francisco Vence who trots over to take it. Be another outswinger with his left foot. Almost into the 85th minute of action here from Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica. Sierra up for the header. Alfredo Stevens tracking down the second ball. Stevens around a couple defenders, going for goal, blocked in front, asking for a handball. But no hand involved in that play, and Santos just clearing it the other way as there's another substitute ready to come on. It's Eder Solorzano. Now wide for Vence, finding Blackburn, trying to turn in a ton of traffic. And that's simply just not going to work with almost all of Santos's players back for defensive responsibilities, and Lagos called for the foul there. Blackman sends it in. It takes a deflection, nodded along, and Vence might be able to get there, keeping it in play. Clearance not great. There's the shot from Sierra, and it's always going over the bar there, as the Colombian center back snatched at the opportunity and couldn't get it right. And that substitution, Eder Solorzano, is going to come on. One more look at that opportunity from Sierra. You can see he never really quite got his body over the ball, which led to the ball flying over the crossbar. There was the giveaway from Salas that almost resulted in the first goal for Chorrillo in this quarterfinal. Great challenge from Juan Madrigal. And even up 2-0 on aggregate, and Chorrillo needing 3 goals. The fans here at Santos expect that much from their club, as Solorzano comes on here in the 86th minute. Cotoy out wide for Stevens. Looking for the return passes high here, Cotoy. Gutierrez. Out wide for Vence. And it is offside on the substitute. Again, the right call from the assistant referee, and this crew has really done an outstanding job tonight. Alejandro Gomez pushing everybody up. And now Santos into the 87th minute here. The fans at Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica can smell, no, maybe they can taste a semifinal, because it would take beyond a miracle for Chorrillo to come back here in these circumstances, needing 3 goals. Salas, San Jose Garo. Santos just going to keep possession here. Back to the training ground, back to the days growing up in the academy. It's the simple game of keep away, just trying to run out the clock. Foul against Santos as that gets Johnny Chavez off of his seat. And Loaiza coming up a little bit lame after that play. Wasn't able to get a touch on that ball from Carlos Gutierrez. Richard Parra tried to change things up tactically heading into the second half, but could not come up with anything from a managerial standpoint that could help his team here in San Jose, Costa Rica, as they are most likely going to come away and be ousted from the tournament. Now just looking for a goal that will give them a sense of pride, saying that they could have scored in a Scotiabank Concacaf League quarterfinal. Still time for that. Katoy for early delivery, cleared away by Houston Salas. Lagos bringing it down. Going all the way back for Osvaldo Rodriguez. Eludes one challenge. Richard Parra trying to help out the referee, pointing the other direction, hoping that it would have gone his way. Heavy challenge there from Alfredo Stevens. Just missing the goal scorer from the first leg, Osvaldo Rodriguez. Rodriguez orchestrating the lone goal of tonight's match and won't get an assist on the score sheet, but certainly deserves the credit and will be credited with a key pass that broke two defensive lines for Chorrillo. Lagos helps it along. Cunningham chasing it down in the corner. Holding off Francisco Vence, who's got two hands on Cunningham. Hurtado picks that pass off. Officially in the 90th minute of this second leg of the Scotiabank Concacaf League quarterfinals. Strong header there from Munguio. Lagos, clever touch that pleases everybody here at Estadio Nacional. Great header through. Lagos, flag is up on the far side. It is offside. Lagos wagging his finger to Kembe Mutombo style over at the referee. And again, another close call, but a call that appears to be the right one. Second goal tonight that's been waved off. Three minutes of stoppage time added on here. 3 minutes for Chorrillo to try to get a goal and avoid a second clean sheet here in the quarterfinals. And we do have an offside flag up on the near side as Alfredo Stevens started in an offside position. And with this win in the quarters, Santos will be the first team to punch their ticket to the semifinals. Other semifinals to come, Araba Unido and Aguila. Unido with a 2-0 win in the first leg. Olimpia and Alianza. Alianza with the 1-0 lead. A winner or a draw will get them through. Olimpia will need 2 or more goals to advance to the semifinals. And then Plaza Amador and Walter Ferretti drew 0-0 in the first leg. Those teams will all vie for their spot in the semifinal. And there's the goal that will send Santos through. At the initial goal coming in from the first leg by Osvaldo Rodriguez, but Starling Matarrita really putting the finishing touches on there. And on the bench after being subbed off just a few moments ago. And taking in the scenes here at Estadio Nacional as his squad will be headed to the Final Four of the first ever Scotiabank Concacaf League. Arquero out wide for Cunningham. Santos maybe looking for one more. Cunningham going for goal, but it's blocked by Francisco Vence. Santos will play the winner. Araba Unido and Aguila. Unido with the advantage heading in 2-0 on aggregate. Unido, Chorrillo, and Plaza Amador, the 3 Panamanian sides who advance from the round of 16 into the quarterfinals. So Panama with a very solid showing, but one of the Panamanian side is going to go home empty-handed. and ousted from the tournament after tonight and after the final whistle blows. His time has officially run out here on Chorrillo. Foul called against Santos as Chorrillo still scramble for one goal that they'll be able to say that they could have scored in the quarterfinals. Yadel Martinez certainly with full time on his mind as we are past the allotted 3 minutes for stoppage time. Sent forward by Sierra, not along. Garo clears it away. And that's gonna do it, full time. Santos on to the semifinals. All it took was 1 goal in each leg, but it proved to be enough. They were able to break through a stingy Chorrillo back line on 2 occasions. Once in the first leg through Osvaldo Rodriguez, and then once in the 18th minute here in the second leg through Starling Matarrita by way of Kenny Cunningham. And now Santos on their way to the semifinals to await the winner of Unido and Aguila in the other quarterfinal. Matarrita was brilliant along with Kenny Cunningham, and the Santos backline bent but did not break throughout the course of 90 minutes. Alejandro Gomez gets the clean sheet in the second leg. Santos get the clean sheet in the quarterfinals, and they spoil the party for the Panamanian side of Chorrillo as their trip is done in the Scotiabank Concacaf League. Again, the final score here from San Jose, Costa Rica. Santos 1, Chorrillo 0. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll talk to you soon.